Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over the key points to distribution. So if you're having a hard time understanding the schematics, this one in particular is going to be strictly about distribution. Now, I'm going to focus in this entire video just drawing the schematics on the plain screen so you guys can understand what's going on. If you really want to get value from this video, I highly recommend you draw these out on your own paper and save them in your notes. With my team and everyone I train, I always teach them to draw things out on paper. Okay, Forex is not something you guys can learn just from watching videos or looking at textbooks or anything like that. You have to get on the paper, start drawing. So with that being said, let's get started. So right here I have my trading range. So if you don't know what a trading range is, I'm going to leave the link in the bio where you can even access the Wyckoff book that obviously I recommend for you guys to understand what I'm talking about. So you do have to have some little bit of knowledge. Okay, so your trading range is basically the point for your climax. So here in a distribution would be your buying climax, and then it would be your AR. So what does that mean? When you look at the schematic, the first time we have our climax, that's our buying climax, and when we have the retracement, that's our AR. Everything else we'll get to, but this is what defines our trading range. Now, a lot of people don't put their trading range on their schematic. You need to. That's the main takeaway from this video, is that you have to do that. Okay, and now before that, in here, between the buying climax and the AR, there might be a little pause, and that might be our PS, okay? Now, you don't really know when your buying climax or your AR is until a lot of the other schematic prints. Okay, so when we have a distribution, we're really looking for 3 drives up. Okay, so we're really looking to find an up thrust and a UTAD. So if you get on the chart, you're not going to even start looking at this area until you see 3 hills up. Why? Because if you just get on the chart anytime that you see the push up and you start labeling a buying climax and AR, well, then it's going to move and that's going to move, and then you're just wasting time trading every little situation. So it's actually going to look like this when you start marking up. Okay, you're going to maybe look at it when you do get your first 2 like this. Okay, and then personally maybe a little MSAL, which we'll talk about of course, but maybe I would set an alert right here to know when I get this UTAD. Okay, so step 1 to be wait for the 3 drives. Now, once you get those 3 drives, we have to see if everything else is relevant. Okay, so like I said, we have our buying climax, we have our AR. Now, a lot of people get the rules confused. Okay, the AR, the ST, the UT, there's rules for them for a reason, you guys. Okay, so let's say we get an up thrust. Your up thrust has to be higher than your buying climax, okay? It shouldn't be the same size, it shouldn't be lower. I don't care what book you're reading. Sometimes the variation is a little bit different. I'm telling you guys it needs to be higher. Okay, now here's a key tip. Your up thrust must come back in the trading range 50%. It doesn't say that in any books, so this is low-key fire that I'm giving to you guys if you guys don't know this. It needs to come back in the trading range 50%. So if it comes here or here and goes up another one, it's not a schematic. Okay, so it has to come back in the trading range 50%. Has to. Now, after that, we might get some movement where they're just hanging out. Okay. But once it comes back and touches your trading range again, that is your second test. Okay, so you can get a second test here or here. But the second test is when it touches the trading range. It's testing the trading range, okay? So then your minor sign of weakness should come below the AR, okay? So you might get a second test where the wick goes a little bit below the AR, but generally speaking, your minor sign should be at least a body, like a clear body close outside of the trading range, because that's a sign of weakness. If it's just a wick that comes out and then it sits within the trading range, well, then it's just testing their trading range. And this is where you have to pay attention to your candlesticks and stuff. So if it actually price moves outside the trading range and it comes back in, that's your minor sign of weakness. Okay, make sure you guys are paying attention to the definitions of these movements. I think sometimes people just get caught up with labels. Okay, then obviously our UTAD should be all the way, right? So we need to get some tests. It's not a UTAD until it comes above the UT, you guys. So you might see sometimes this little creak upward. Perfectly normal. And this is our UTAD. Now, I'm about to give you guys secret sauce, but I don't know if you guys are going to apply it, but in my academy, we apply it, and that's how we really make money, okay? This is SMA secret sauce. Now, you're going to get a test of the trading range, okay? You can call it test LPS. Now, you're obviously looking for a major sign of weakness. That's when you really drop outside the trading range below the MSAL, okay? So sometimes people are trying to trade little retracements in here, and it doesn't work out. Sometimes it will, but we need our major sign of weakness. So I'm just going to label it as a SAL. Okay, so you should see this big, massive, unhealthy price action situation. Okay, so say we get this. Now, your entry, your imbalance or order block, whatever you're looking for, has to be a 50% retracement from the lowest price to the UTAD. Has to be above because we're selling, right? A natural pullback is at least 50%. Okay, so it has to be above here. Now in this example that I'm clearly making up, let me just stretch it to here to show you guys a point in one moment. Okay, so let's say it's like that. Okay, now here's the sauce, okay? Your trading range should align with your entry. So if you have an imbalance here, that's where your entry should be as long as it's above 50%. So if this already got filled by an imbalance, you don't need it. But if there's an order block up here and then you have an imbalance down here, you should be striving for the order block that's up here. Okay, so the takeaway is that your entry, order block, whatever it is, should be above 50% and align with the trading range. So I'm going to use here for an example. Okay, and that's where you sell off. Guys, schematics is that easy, okay? So I obviously have so many YouTube videos where I actually just go through schematics, but save this one and take this to those videos and you understand these are all my major confirmations. Okay, so in the chart gallery in my academy, we have a group chat where we literally just drop perfect schematics like this so you guys know what you're looking for, okay? So that's gonna be it. That's a very simple video, so you guys can always come back here every time you have an issue. If you lose a trade and it's a distribution, come back here and be like, crap, it didn't come back in my trading range 50%. Crap, it wasn't a 50% retracement. Oh my god, I didn't actually have an MSAL, because you need to have all these things. A lot of times people are missing things and say, oh, my schematic didn't work out. Well, you literally don't have a UTAD or MSAL, and you literally just have consolidation with one little piece that came out and you want to call it a UTAD. It's not. You need to have all three elements in order and they have to work together. So I hope you guys got value from the video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.